Okay, so I wanted to talk about these leaks that were they're not leaks. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if I even can consider assets being put in the game as leaks, because they know what they're doing, right? The game knows that if they put any assets, any person can just go in and just check them out, right? So it's not even a leak, but some new assets were added a few days ago to the global version. And, I just wanted to talk about them, give my input. So, Chapter 8 assets, Chapter 8, next one coming out, of course. 8 comes after 7, so, makes sense. Escanor assets were added, I'll talk about that more in a second. Updated Ad Roulette, interesting. Updated King assets plus Final Boss icon, nice. Additional Chapter 1 assets. So, first about the Escanor thing. So, it was added all the assets from Escanor. So, the person Jack's pick put the Imgur of all the assets that were added. And they did add the Escanor outfits, and this outfit, by the way, so good. So good. The cards, right? And the cuttings, right, for the Escanor. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's coming out next week, but it's a good chance. So, a few days ago, when was this? It was the April 13th, so a day before these assets were added, right? This was put in the files as well. So, yeah, the All 7 Festival banner. Now, here's the thing, right? I think that if Escanor was in this banner, they would have put his picture in it, So, what I'm, predicting is that next week we'll have this banner, because this was a banner that also released on GP at one point, with the 7 Deadly Sins characters featured, and then in 2 weeks we'll have Escanor. But it could be a case where next week we'll have Escanor, and then in 2 weeks we'll have this, so keep that in mind. But yeah, so I talked to a big data miner for the game, right? Or rather, I saw him talking to someone, and he said that a lot of assets are in the game that aren't going to be a thing in a little bit, like a little while, right? We already have assets for lots and lots and lots of characters in the global files. They are not going to be releasing for a little while. So it doesn't necessarily mean that because they added Escanor to the files that he will come next week, but it's a good chance. It's a good chance that they are going to be releasing him next week. And this is one of the reasons why I said I do believe skipping the Radium Meliodas banner was the best way to go about it, because, with Escanor being the next unit, the next, summonable unit to come, it's only, only smart to just not be summoning now and just waiting for him, because he is gonna be the best summonable unit for a long time. Like, he is gonna be the best summonable unit until Derriere comes out. Right? I think so. I need to check my own tier list. But yeah, he's gonna be like the best summonable unit until Derriere comes out. So it's like he's a must-have. He's literally a must-have. And if you're spending gems, if you're pay to play, it doesn't matter. You can buy gems, but if you're free to play and you're spending gems, in other banners, you might end up not pulling him. You can get lucky. You can pull him in the single. You can pull him in the first multi, but most people are not gonna be this lucky, right? I can tell my horror story of taking 1,200 gems to pull my first green Escanor, but not. I hope none of you watching are gonna have the same horror story that I had. But yeah, so not only that, they also had both Escanors. So here's one thing. This is the green Escanor. Let me show the green Escanor cards. So green Escanor. Let me open both of them. Green Escanor, red Escanor. These are the cards for green Escanor. He does damage and then he gets ult cage, and then this one applies ignite and removes buff. Removes buff is so good. Someone asked me on Twitter yesterday, I think, if this works against the red Arthur buffs. If just using this removes all the buffs, including the effect of what's it called? Of immunity, right? I think it's called immunity. The one that nullifies any debuffs. Yeah, immunity. And yes, it removes every buff. It removes including immunity. It removes literally everything. So it's a very big counter to anyone using Red Arthur. So you use Escanor with Gopher, you rank up his level 1 and remove all buffs from the enemy. Like, if you face someone and they get super lucky, right? And they get an Arthur level 3 turn 1, you can just remove it turn 2. It's so good. But yeah, so this is the green Escanor cards, and this is the red Escanor cards, the one that he's shooting up and the one that he's doing this, right? So yeah, they're both added. And also Lilia, Lilia, if you don't know, I don't know if they're gonna release blue Lilia very soon. So going by the GP schedule, green Lilia should be, you know, very close, because she I think by this time on JP she had already come out, question mark? I don't know. I wasn't playing when she did come out. But she shouldn't be, you know, too far away. She was a free unit on JP, but who knows what they're gonna do on global, right? We also have blue Lilia, summonable unit, step up unit. She is guaranteed on her step up, so there's not much of a need to save too much for her. But after green Escanor, I do recommend some saving for her. So yeah, they added both Escanors. This Escanor is an asset that's not used. There's no Escanor in the game that uses this. It's just a random asset. It could be the green the blue Escanor whenever he comes out, right? Red Escanor, and this is the same. Red Escanor again, green Escanor, green Escanor. So lots of people are theorizing that, and this one is just, I don't even know what it is, man. Lots of people are theorizing, right, that they are gonna release both Escanors in one banner. And that's not too far-fetched. Honestly, they could release both Escanors in one banner, and that would be huge. So here's what happened on JP for those that don't know. Green Escanor came out. It was when I started playing the game. When Escanor came out, I was like, okay, time to start the 7 Deadly Sins, because it's my favorite character, right? Honestly, the only character I really like on 7 Deadly Sins, to be fair. You know, I like the other. After I read the manga, I started liking the other characters more. But at the time, it was the only character I really liked. So Green Escanor came out, and then months later, on New Year's, Red Escanor came out. Coin shop unit, but he was in a banner. But he wasn't the focal point of the banner. The focal point of the banner were the New Year's units, and he was just there, sitting there. And he was there, but he was also in the coin shop for 5 coins. It's not too far-fetched to really assume that Red Escanor could be on the Green Escanor banner. Only because they are dropping, like, the coin shop units, like, back to back to back. It's, you know, it would not be so bad of an idea to just drop the Red Escanor as well. Like, they're dropping every coin shop unit, they might as well just drop Red Escanor right now. They're dropping all the sins. And he's already a thing, right? We already know about him. So, if you don't know, JP does these banners nowadays. This was the Derriere banner. This was in February, right? This dual summoning of Shiny. And both Derrieres were in the banner. The coin shop Derriere, which is the green one, and the red one were in the banner. Same thing for Estarossa. Estarossa also had the same thing. It was the red Estarossa and the green Estarossa in the same banner. The summonable one and the coin shop unit. So it's, you know, they have the history. They have been doing this. So it's not far to assume that we would get a banner with both green Escanor and red Escanor. And honestly, if it's a thing, bro, that's like the best banner ever. Like, legitimately, because you have 2 top tier units. Like, when we summon, right? Oh, I closed the banner, the Derriere banner. But the Derriere and the Estarossa banner, which had 2 units, that banner was still not you know, 100%, because red Derriere was good, but the green one's shit. And then the green Estarossa is super good, but the red one is garbage. So it's like, yeah, you had, like, if you pull one, you're happy. If you don't, if you pull the other, you're sad, right? But with this, like, if it's both Escanors, whichever one you pull, you're happy with, because they're both top tier. It's like, it would be a super good banner, and it could happen. It just could. Also, there's a really good point for releasing Escanor next week. If they are updating the Super Boss King, right here. This is they're calling on GP what is a real boss or final boss. True boss, whatever. This one right here. This thing is the final boss or whatever. The king, Escanor would have type advantage. The green Escanor would have type advantage against king, so it would be a very good strategy for them to promote Escanor by releasing a very hard activity, right? They release a very hard blue activity on the super boss king or final boss king, and they release a super top tier green unit to come with it. Not only a green unit that, you know, is really good, but also removes buffs, which is a big deal because one of the reasons why he's so difficult is because he keeps boosting himself. He keeps giving himself attack boosts. So if you can remove the buffs, you know, you're gonna cut off a lot of his damage. So it would be a very good strategy to release Escanor with the final boss king. That's why, you know, they could just release this next week. Honestly, this could all come out next week. But there's still a chance, right, that it wouldn't. Also this, I'm hoping they improve the rewards for the ad roulette. I don't even do these anymore because all I get is freaking 3-star books and it just pisses me off. But if they can remove the 3-star books and give something else, that'll be pretty poggers. But this could not come out next week. This could just be, you know, in 2 weeks. Because like I said, we have the All 7 Sins banner that was leaked first. And it could be next week. We could have a grace period. And it would not be a bad thing if we had like a grace period of another week before Escanor comes out, because then we would have another week to save gems. So I beg of you, don't spend any gems right now, because the possibility of this banner being a thing is very high. Very, very high. This costume is also pretty cool, by the way, but this one, if you are pay to play, this is a must-buy costume. Also, did they leak in the files? It's probably already in the files, so there was probably no update here. Oh, this is not chapter 1. So this guy here said additional chapter 1. No, this is from the movie. This is from the movie. So on JP, right? Let me end this. Let me quit this activity. Ah! Well, why did it do that? That was my background. You probably saw it's Gyro Zeppeli. Let me quit this activity I'm doing right here. So on JP, when was this? January? I think it was January that we got this. We had, let me go on world. This right here. So chapter, we have a second book for chapters, and this is the movie chapter. This is the movie. If you never watched the 7 Deadly Sins movie, which I don't blame you because it's a very bad movie, this is the thing. And if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about, because this is a part of the movie, right, where they're looking at the water. Yeah, they have like this fountain, right? Yeah, this is the movie. So are they planning to add the movie this soon? They might, if they do release the movie, right? When it did come out on GP, it was like a full collab. They had like this whole thing, right? But if they do release the movie, they might release very soon, right? Which did come out with the chapter. Let me filter by color so it's easier for me to find. They might release Balion, which was the villain of the movie. He's not very good. I don't really recommend summoning for him. He will be in the Generous Star Pool. He's not exclusive or anything, so skipping him is very good. He will be in the Generous Star Pool, and you probably will pull him a few times. And Elat, which is not that good either. But she's actually pretty useful. She makes part of the best damaging strategy for guild boss. So she's not like, you know, useless, but she's not that good. You'll pull her because she'll be on feature in every banner. I do recommend skipping. If they do come out very soon with this chapter edition, I do recommend skipping them. But that's very cool. They're already adding this. I thought it would take them a little longer because on JP it took, I think they released after chapter 10. I think? I don't know. I don't remember. But that's cool. Chapter 8, you know. Chapter 8... Is chapter 8 the one that comes with Escanor? Let me check again. Let me check. Oh, I can go here in the books, right? Not click the wrong thing. I can come here in the books. Chapter 8. 8. No. Is it? No, chapter... Oh, dude, chapter 8 has this fight. This fight is so annoying. No. Chapter 9 is the one that Escanor came out with. Okay, where is it? It's but I do recall Chapter 9 released after Escanor released in the game. So when I started playing the game, I recall I did beat story chapter into chapter 8, and then a few weeks later, chapter 9 came out, like after I started playing the game, which was, you know, when Escanor dropped. So this doesn't mean that Escanor will be delayed until then, because, you know, if we go chronologically, chapter 9 did come out after Escanor, so it wouldn't be so hard to assume that Escanor will be releasing beforehand, right? But yeah, so if Escanor does come out next week and it is a double Escanor banner, that's PogChamp. I would summon until pulling them, and if Lilia is, you know, added to the files and is very soon to come, again, the blue Lilia is a fantastic unit. She is incredible, very good. She's a healer, takes off alt gauge. She's a very good support unit. She's really good in PvP and for lots of PvE activities as well. So if you do want to save 242 gems for her, because that's how much it takes for the step up, right? Right now in GP we have a step up, I can show. Right now in GP we have a step up. This is the step up, right? The first few steps are just normal. I mean, actually the second step is 1 gem, right? And then we have a guaranteed SSR, we have another regular step, another 1 gem step, and then at the end, the 10th step, we get them guaranteed. This all costs 242 gems in total to do. So if you just want to save 242 gems for Lilia, that wouldn't be so bad. After Escanor, after you pull both Escanors, I would recommend saving for her. If you do want to go, and you know, after you pull both Escanors, if it does happen to you, if you want to keep summoning, it's not a bad idea because dupes for Escanor are really good. I do have my green Escanor 6 out of 6, and he is super stupid. Not only because his ultimate does so much damage, right? See, oh, look at this costume. Not only because he does so much damage, right? But he is a super stupid good linking partner. His linking, because if you don't know how linking partners work, they give stats to the unit they're linked with, right? And Escanor has the highest stats in the game. So if you have him 6 out of 6, he's going to be giving the highest stats as a linking body to anyone. So that's why he's super stupid as a linking partner as well. So if you want to 6 out of 6 him, it's not a bad idea because of that. But I wouldn't really recommend chasing. I myself, I just realized that Lilia's first skill is called Pathetic. That's please step on me. If you want to chase for him is okay, but I myself, after I pulled him with 1,200 gems, I stopped summoning, and the very same day that he left and he was introduced in the Generous SR pool, because he will be in the Generous SR pool, I pulled him on a single. And then I pulled him several times on singles, and I pulled him several times afterwards. So, you know, units that are in the Generous SR pool, it's not, you know, too good to just really chase them, because you will pull them eventually, and you will pull more copies, right? It's just a matter of time. If you want to be patient, just be patient. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. If Escanor does come out, that's Poggers. I'm waiting. I have right now on Global almost 500 gems saved, because I skipped both Hellbrim and Demon Meliodas, right? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Good luck if it does become a banner, and that's it.